Yasser Arafat could have escaped so easily, but he accepted siege and accepted poisoning and accepted going as a martyr because he refused the diktat of America. He wanted an honest peace process, not a dictation from America on what he should accept, particularly on Jerusalem. If Yasser Arafat had died, it's for Jerusalem and not for anything else. I was in Camp David. I was in the Y River. I was in all the negotiating arenas. It was Yasser Arafat's position on Jerusalem that led to his murder and to his martyrdom. And therefore, really, and I wonder really about people who think we are delaying the impossible by delaying the negotiations. Let's put it very clearly. What is the risk? Go to negotiations and have settlements continue, will not go to the negotiations and have settlements continue. The alternative is not if you go to negotiations, the settlement will stop. Nobody is promising that. If you go to negotiations, Mr. Netanyahu will continue the settlements. If you don't go to the negotiations, Mr. Netanyahu will continue the settlements. But at least you have a chance developing popular resistance, developing action in the international arena, developing your unity, building your institutions. You are not wasting your time. But if you go to negotiations and he continues to build settlements, you lost your right in the world. You have been living in a world and you have seen what Hamas has done to us in the last 3 years. They portrayed us as the surrenderists and they are al-muqawami. Now it's the other way around. They are not firing one rocket out of Gaza. It's now a whole year. They can't. It's impossible. But we are resisting. In our way, we are resisting. In the last Bil'in annual march, last Friday, there was at least 2,000 people. There were 400 Israelis marching with us in Bil'in. And they suffered the tear gas like I did and like every Palestinian did. They suffered the foul water they threw on us like every one of us did. And today, there is a return to the image of Fatah, to the image of the authority. And no, we are struggling in the best way we can. And the best way we can now is nonviolence. Goldstone, yes, it was a big mistake that it was delayed. A big mistake. But the president changed his mind in 4 days. Somebody told him, if you delay it, you will get more votes the next time it's around. But we in the Central Committee of Fatah issued a proclamation the first day asking the president, please, Mr. President, bring Goldstone back. Goldstone is an excellent opportunity for us to fight the Israelis in the international arena. And there are many others. We have to go to the International Criminal Court. We have to go to the Hague Court of Justice. We have to go to Switzerland to have a meeting of those who signed the Geneva Conventions. There are many ways. And you have to remember, South Africa, after 120 years of struggle, succeeded because of the international boycott of the apartheid regime, not because of armed struggle. I was in Alexandria just last week in a meeting with the ANC, the African Party of South Africa. And despite the fact I'm very busy, we spent 3 days learning about the experience of South Africa. How did you conduct the anti-apartheid war? How did you conduct the popular non-violent war? How did you achieve national unity? South Africa has 400 ethnic tribes that are as different as we are from the Israelis. And yet the South Africans were able to maintain their national unity until they established real independence based on one state, the idea of the democratic state that we talked about in 1969. With Israel, it's difficult. Our problem is our enemy, nothing else. Not because we are impotent, not because we are not able to do it, not because the world does not recognize us. But when you have as an enemy people who were in the Holocaust, people who have so much spread and influence in the world, The problem is there. don't act as if يعني يلا دبروا حالكم يا حضرات السلطة، احنا مش رح نقول لكم ايش تعملوا، بس انتوا دبروا حالكم. Okay. We will go back to struggle in our own way. Internally, externally, and within our own camp. And we are steadfast. And our people will stay in this country. And we are growing at a much faster rate than the Israelis. Today, Palestinians in Israel and outside Israel outnumber Jewish Israelis. And that does not include the 1 in a million Israeli Americans who live in America with dual citizenship, American and Israeli. They're not like Jewish Americans. They are Israeli Americans. Those who immigrated to America in the last 15 years. And they are mostly in California, by the way. Because of these immigrants in America, Israeli immigrants, there are at least 30 daily flights between Tel Aviv and American points. They come and go. If this network can succeed in making Palestinians who have international passports, American, Swedish, come and go, that is part of what you can do. هذه البلد بيت لحم، شوفوا القاعة اللي انتم فيها ما أجملها، شوفوا قصر المؤتمرات بأجمله، انزلوا على بيت لحم شوفوا قاعات المؤتمرات اللي في بيت لحم. فينا نحول بيت لحم لكونفنشن سيتي، وهذا بشد الناس عليها، وبنحافظ على المسيحيين تبعونا. أحسن مسيحيين في العالم باي ذا واي مسيحية فلسطين. وبالتالي بدكم تحافظوا على المسيحية في فلسطين. الله يرحمه أبو عمار كان يعيش في الدير اللي في كنيسة المهد من 23 ديسمبر ل 18 يناير كل سنة، وفي الإيستر الشرقي وفي الإيستر الغربي. وكان يقول لي يا نبيل إحنا اسمنا الأرض المقدسة لأننا مسلمين ومسيحية، لو ما فيش مسيحية في فلسطين إحنا مش الأرض المقدسة.
كان يكون المسيح هو أول شهيد فلسطيني
بالضبط. ولذلك أنا بقول انتوا فيكم تحافظوا على هذا البلد. كيف المسيحية هاجروا من هذا البلد؟ طبعا الاحتلال الإسرائيلي ضغط عليهم وخلى حياتهم صعبة كتير كتير، بس في شيء تاني، لأنه في مسيحية أخذوا جنسيات أمريكية من 100 سنة، سهل على المسيحي الفلسطيني التشيلياني انه يجيب كل أهله على تشيلي لما يصير في صعوبة من الاحتلال الإسرائيلي في بيت لحم. في 4000 فلسطيني مسيحي في بيت لحم عندهم باسبورت من تشيلي، هذا بيقدر يسافر على تشيلي وقت ما بده. فإذا اليهود ضغطوا بيقدر يروح على تشيلي. أنا ما عندي مانع يروح على تشيلي، بس أنا بدي كل فلسطينية تشيلي ييجوا على بيت لحم ويبنوا في بيت لحم ويعملوا الكونفنشنز تبعهم في بيت لحم ويعملوا مشروعات في بيت لحم. بيت لحم مدينة جميلة جدا بالمناسبة، وهي والمدينتين اللي حواليها بيت جالة وبيت صحور وهذا المكان هون فينا نعمل منهم إشي. باي ذا واي بدي أعطي أبو مازن وأبو عمار another credit. هم اللي جابوا الحجاج الروس على بيت لحم. أبو عمار أولا من خلال علاقته بالبطرك الروسي في موسكو، ثم أبو مازن ضلهم يشتغلوا لغاية ما صار الآن الحجاج اللي بيجوا من روسيا على هاي المنطقة بشكلوا حجم مهم. بدنا نشجع الناس يروحوا يحجوا في القدس، بس يقعدوا في أوتيلات القدس مش يقعدوا في أوتيلات اليهود، يستخدموا بساط القدس مش بساط اليهود. فبدها شغل وانتم بتقدروا تعملوه، وساعتها بتكونش القدس منكوبة. بذكر النكتة القديمة، قال القدس واليمن وكوبا عملوا توأمة سموها القدس يا منكوبة. فلذلك أنا بقول الآتي، خلصنا من هذا السؤال.